All right, all right, all right. Carnivore Soldier coming at you from Austin, Texas. Welcome back. It's another Wednesday. It's Hump Day Meetup. You guys made it another week. It's in December. Are you guys all done Christmas shopping? I hope you are. I hope you've been staying away from the sweets and staying on your diet. Santa's got that list and he's checking it, looking for the naughties and the nices, right? So you all try to be good. All right, today we got Katerina from Meat Fueled Living. I'm going to bring her in. She'll introduce herself. Go ahead. Hey, Kat, how's it going?
Hey. Yep.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. I mean, some people know you, probably some don't. So
yeah, I come on here quite a lot. I absolutely love Larry's channel. Like he said, Katerina, Meat Fueled Living. I have been on the carnivore diet for 140 days now. I was a whole food, plant-based vegan vegetarian, then vegan for going on 13 years. And without getting into all of the big, long details, was incredibly sick with a lot of autoimmune disorders, just a lot of skin conditions, IBS, GERD, anxiety, depression, just a whole just cornucopia of things that were wrong, and just continuing down a horrible spiral. One day out of desperation after a visit with my doctor, and she told me basically that I was SOL, I just decided, I randomly ran across a video on insulin resistance in the carnivore diet, and that's about all she wrote. I just started immediately cold turkey switched, started a channel so that I could share my journey, hopefully help other people out there that are going through exactly the same thing that I was. And I've lost 37 pounds, which was never intended. I didn't care if I lost weight. I just wanted to feel better. But the biggest, most miraculous thing for me is I have basically cured my anxiety, my depression, my panic attacks, my GERD, my IBS, all of those things. So I'm just here to help share the word, get it out there.
hey, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here, and that's what we're all here about. That's why we have these channels. These are passion projects, okay? I've got a real career, and I retired from the Army, so I don't need this for I'm not trying to make this a career. This is definitely a passion project. It's because my background, some of you know, been carnivore since March 22nd. I lost 46 pounds, went from 280 now to 234. I'm back in my college size again. It's amazing. Today I ran sprints. I mean, I'm 57 years old out sprinting. I had not run since 2017 when I had my injury. My injuries piled up and I could no longer run. So I had to get a permanent profile, they call it in the Army, where you can only walk when you're doing your PT test. And that was kind of a badge of shame for me because I was always the fit guy that was old, that was doing good in PT. That was me. And my last 2 years, it wasn't me anymore. And like I say, I could go back in the Army right now and definitely be a better soldier now than I was in 2017. I can tell you that right now. So this is the real deal. If you guys haven't started it, definitely look into it. If you have, good for you. Keep on it. Let's see. So make sure you put the QQQs in the questions if you have them, so we can see them. A lot of these things stream by pretty quick, and sometimes we get a lot of people on here. It's hard to keep up with the text. So, in fact, I was on Kat had her first streaming show yesterday, and Kat, tell us how that was doing a streaming show on your own.
Well, it was nerve-wracking for me because I say this every day. I obviously didn't, I just like you, I didn't start this channel as a source of income or as my job. I too work full-time, and I'm a parent to 2 teenage boys. I'm a veteran from the service as well. And every day that I put out a video and people comment or talk to me, it absolutely amazes me that anybody is even remotely interested in anything that I have to say. So I was pretty nervous because I was afraid that nobody was going to show up. I was afraid that I'd be talking to myself. Fortunately for me, you came and Dave came, and I just thank you so much for that. And we had a really good turnout. and I felt like it was really good. It was nerve-wracking for me because it's hard to put yourself out there and tell your story, especially when your story makes you, if you see any of my before and after pictures, it's embarrassing, it's humbling, it's all of that. But I mean, I think it went good. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, you're not even at your after pictures yet. You're in your in
Yes.
process pictures. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Correct.
first off. I want to make a statement because you're not at your after until you've
I'm
been
not. I'm
several
still
years
losing.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm still not at my after. I'm still my body. My weight has stabilized and I'm changing my body. I thought it went well, and that's one of the good things about this community, top to bottom. Everyone I've met, top quality. This is like, well, I was a chief warrant officer, and chief warrant officers are usually the top NCOs that get selected. You have to get boarded, and then we have a cadre, we call it, and because we all have been NCOs, been high level NCOs at a good, and then went the extra step, become a chief warrant officer. So we had camaraderie, we had a brotherhood, sisterhood, what do you want to call it? And beyond the general soldier one, which the soldier one's really strong, but this is even stronger. And in this, I feel that here. I feel that I have a bunch of battle buddies, whether it's Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Chafee, answering questions from people he never met, doesn't know. Like some people on my channel have emailed him and he's actually answered their questions. It blew me away. I was like, wow, this guy's legit. He's real. And so far, the realness factor on 99.9% of the people I've interacted with in this sphere is awesome. So you can really trust that these people are out here. This is a passion project. I mean, obviously Anthony Chafee doesn't need money doing this. I mean, he's a neurosurgeon guy. He's gonna make all the money he needs in his career. He's set. And Dr. Kiltz, I mean, that guy's super busy, and he still finds time to interview with me yesterday. And I just got the video out today, and it was fantastic. So yeah, this is amazing. And if you want to learn how to start a channel, I mean, you can ask any of us pretty much, and we'll tell you what we're doing and what we found success with. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Just, go support the people that are, because we're doing a lot of work. I think if I were making an hourly wage doing this, it would be pretty disappointing, right? It's not because the money you make versus the hours you put in. I mean, compared to my career right now, because I'm a wireless network engineer I'm a wireless architect actually. So I'm in charge of the wireless network engineers. So yeah, it's a different gig.
And you have a background in all of that too, and
yeah.
and it really shows. But people like me who can barely use Facebook without my teenage kids laughing about something that I do, if you saw the drama that goes on in here when I'm trying to edit a video, I literally would be. I would not be making a wage near what it goes into it, but I'm not doing it because, and you can see my videos aren't great, but I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be, some great creator or whatever, like you. It's a passion project, and I want to tell everybody, I want to scream it from the top of the roofs that this, especially coming from a vegan, a staunch vegan that would have never told you to eat meat of any kind. I
mean, if I had the choice,
for sure, but I probably couldn't give very much help on channels.
If someone offered me and said, would you rather have 100,000 subscribers making X a month or save one soldier's life who didn't commit suicide? I can tell you right now, it's not even a thought. There's not even a thought process there. And that's why I'm doing it, because I know my mental health. I know Kat's mental health. Every veteran I've interacted with has done this correctly, has 100% turned their mental health around. I mean, not just fixed it a little bit, turned it around. I mean, it's real. And
it is.
In fact, we talked about this yesterday. I'm going to go to my old command. I still live near it. Still 20 miles. I'm actually about 30 miles away from it now, but I'm going to go one weekend, and I'm going to talk to the command about offering on weekends, going in and offering free counseling on, how to start a proper human diet and how to turn your physical condition around. And hopefully they'll go for it. I don't know if they will, but I'm going to go. I'll try it, and I'll post on here how it goes after I talk to them. Maybe I won't get in the brigade. Maybe a company will do it, or maybe even a platoon will let me do it. I don't know. I think I have to have the company buying at least, though. I don't think I can do it at just platoon level. But I
Start
know a
with
lot of.
one. Start with one, and then when that
Oh
one
yeah,
is
I'll
successful,
hit every company in the brigade. Yeah.
Yep.
Go through, or the battalion, go through all the companies. One of them will let me do it, I think. But anyway, we'll see. I think because I can show them before and after. I can show them like all the data and say, listen, this is real. This is what happened. They know because they knew me, right? They knew I couldn't run, and now I'm running sprints. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Okay, how sustainable is this? Here's a good question from Rich. Long term, how sustainable is this diet? Months, years. Do you want to try this, Kat, or do you want me to start with it?
I can try. Now I've only been doing it for 140 days. But I can tell you this from the perspective of a serial diet failure, this has been the easiest life change that I have made that has improved my life, because I have been on the constant binge, restrict, all of that. And so from that perspective, this has been the easiest, most unthought, I don't have any anxiety or any issues at all. I don't worry about what I'm eating. I don't count calories. I don't do anything like that. If you're talking about how sustainable is it health wise, if you ask my doctor, they would tell you that this is going to kill me 6 months from now. But if you look at my lab results and my triglycerides that were sitting at 812, not 7 months ago, and they're down to 82 right now. My cholesterol, all my numbers are really good. That was, my blood pressure, I'm off that. I'm off all of my painful bladder medication. I'm off my anxiety and depression medications. I mean, how sustainable is it? I hope for the rest of my life, seriously. But I'm not a medical professional, and I don't know what's going to happen 3 years from now. But if I feel half as good as what I feel right now, I say that this is for the rest of my life sustainable. I don't know if that answers. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you can look at like Dr. Chafee, who's been doing it for a decade. You can look at Dr. Baker, who's been doing it for over a decade, I think. Dr. Kiltz has been doing it for over a decade. He's been over a decade now, 12 years, I think. You can look all over the place, and there's examples of people that have been doing this, and they're diehard. I mean, they are, no plants, right? Unless it's an accident, no plants on purpose. And I think, what was the football sportscaster who they just outed him as never eating plants? I didn't know that. One of the guys from Monday Night Football, back when it was gosh, who were the guys? I forget the guy's name, but I'm not a big football guy, but anyway, I can't remember the guy, but he doesn't eat any plants. And gosh, what is his name? Anyway, if anyone knows which football sportscaster I'm talking about, Al Michaels. Al Michaels has never eaten plants on purpose his whole life. He only eats meat, and just because he didn't like plants, that's kind of interesting, right? I mean, so obviously you can do it long term. And I don't take any supplements anymore. I used to take supplementation. I still have a cabinet full of junk. And I mean, I keep the vitamin D, because I'll take that if I start feeling little sniffles or something. Haven't been sick yet, but I have felt like itchy in the throat a couple times and took some of those. The only sickness I've had is I had a pretty bad sinus headache for like a day or two. But I don't know, that wasn't really a virus or anything, I don't think. So all right, we got a question. Carnivore cookbooks. I think there's a lot of, I probably wouldn't spend money on a cookbook because not a lot of ingredients, right? So carnivore cooking is different. You can buy carnivore cookbooks, but I think there's plenty of videos on YouTube channels. You can do carnivore recipes. Search for them. I have them on my channel. And because you're only going to have a few ingredients, right? You're going to have cheese, you're going to have meat, you're going to have eggs, you're going to have maybe heavy whipping cream. You're not going to have a lot. So there's not, and most of the stuff they show is on videos is pretty quick. It's pretty quick and easy. Your shopping's going to be super easy too. You're not going to be adding a bunch of ingredients and like I threw out almost all my seasoning. I do keep some for occasional things, but oh look, Missy has a cookbook here. So there is a cookbook. Oh, Maria Emmerich. So yeah, Maria Emmerich has great videos too, and probably has
Mm-hmm.
a cookbook. So I mean, if some people like the book, I get it because it's like tactile. You got a page, you can look at it. But again, the videos kind of show the techniques too. Like I make mayonnaise like Maria Emmerich does. I make my own mayonnaise. I use egg yolks and bacon fat. You can use duck fat. You can use butter. There's a lot of ways to make mayonnaise, and that's what I use to make my deviled eggs. So I do keep some things like pickle juice, and I keep some vinegar. I keep salt. So there are some things I keep for cooking when I'm doing things like that, right? A little paprika for the egg to top it. Anyway, so that's yeah. Thomas Hughes has not been sick since November 2019. So anyway, Spending Maple. I hope that answers your question. Maria Emmerich is who I'm familiar with. He's got a lot of recipes, but there's a couple gals out there that do a lot of recipes. You'll find them if you search. Go ahead.
And another thing, I do. I have recipes too. But since so many carnivores don't do seasonings, a lot of people are very sensitive to them. I mean, I pretty much use Redmond's salt. I'll use some of their smoked salts. But I try to focus on different ways of cooking the meat instead of different recipes. So I might use a pressure cooker one time or a slow cooker another, or maybe, I mean, I have a smoker, maybe smoke the meat one time or grill it or something. And so I've kind of veered away from trying to find a bunch of ingredients or ways or recipes and just kind of change up the way that I make it or cook it, I guess is what you would say, as opposed to a cookbook. I have seen quite a few recipes out there. There's quite a few channels even of people, but a lot of times they delve into more of a keto type recipe or like that, like the loose carnivore type things. And it just depends on how strict you're trying to be. Me, I mean, I'm always just a triple B and E kind of girl. It's simplicity is my name. Although I love lamb. I do love me some lamb for sure.
So is adding cooked onion to a burger a bad thing? So if you're just starting, which I think you were, I think we talked about this, then I would not add any vegetables. I would not add any seasoning. I would not be pushing the boundary early. Okay, because this is an elimination diet. So it's not like keto where you can just add things and see how far you can get the limits, right? This is what you do is you do beef, salt, water, butter, bacon, eggs, and just that's it, right? And then maybe some chicken and stuff, but cooked in animal fats and a high fat diet. And you do it for 8 weeks, do 8 to 12 weeks. And then you can say, I would probably do 12 weeks, do 90 days. And then you can bring in some onions to try it. Like Thomas Hughes says, he does caramelized onions, but he's 1,000 days into this, right? So he knows his body. And then, like for me, I cut coffee out, and I had no pain in my ankle, and then I started getting swelling in my ankle when I ran last time. So because I had reinstated coffee, so now I cut it back out again last weekend, Sunday actually, when I was interviewing Darlene. She said, "Hey, are you drinking coffee?" Because I told her my ankle swelled up, and she's like, "I'm like, yeah," and she goes, "That's probably it." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I knew that actually because I've seen it. I've seen Dr. Chafee talk about it. I've experienced it." So I cut coffee out since then, and I ran today. Only 3 days later, and my ankle's not swollen. It's pretty amazing. I ran harder today than I did the last time. So,
well, I think also it has to do with why you're coming to the carnivore diet in the first place. Like for me, I did it as an elimination. So I cut out everything that could cause some type of reaction in my body because I didn't know what was making me sick. I can tell you definitively that onions give me horrible heartburn. It aggravates my stomach, my IBS. And when I eat onions, I start to get a lot of inflammation because initially I tried putting things back in and taking it back out until I realized that first off, you have to keep it out for a long time before you can really start to heal your body. And sometimes things have delayed responses. So I was adding stuff back in too fast. So for me, I really think it depends on the reasoning why you came to carnivore. If you're just doing it, for maybe the added mental clarity or you're not being real strict, then maybe onions would be okay for you. But for somebody like me who's trying to heal my body, that's a big no for me. And any vegetable is a big no for me right now.
Yeah, I would just do salt and butter on burgers and maybe cheese. And if you do cheese, don't do American cheese because that's got seed oils
Sparingly,
in it.
though. And
Yeah,
maybe
and
not in the
cheese is
beginning, because you don't.
yeah,
Dairy is a sneaky little guy. Because sometimes I can have it and it doesn't cause any issues.
yeah,
Sometimes I can have this much. Sometimes I can have this much. Whenever I start feeling kind of cruddy or my weight loss, which again, I didn't do it for weight loss, but when I notice that it's maybe going up or I feel a little more bloated, you know what? It's always been
yeah,
dairy.
dairy. Dairy is sneaky, and whenever someone says they're not having results, the first thing I ask: dairy and sweeteners. Are you using artificial sweeteners or regular sweeteners or dairy? And if they are, I'm like, that's it. Take all that out, and then come back. If that doesn't work, then I'll be surprised. Right?
But I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess, because I know exactly how much artificial sweeteners I can do before I push it. So some people can't do any at all.
Yeah, I don't like to do sweeteners because I get cravings too. And also artificial sweeteners do cause an insulin spike. So you're trying to minimize how many insulin spikes a day you're getting. That's another thing you're doing on this. In the beginning, you're going to eat whenever you're hungry. And cast iron, I'm going to email it to you. Hold on a second. I just wanted to make sure you were good to go before I did that. So Cast Iron Carnivore is going to join us from the UK. It's late out there. He's another veteran. He's a UK Army vet. So we'll have 3 vets on. It'll be kind of cool. Let me see where he's at.
So while you're pulling him in, I'm cold quite a bit. I mean, it's interesting because for me, I'm menopausal, so I'm hot all the time. And I've noticed that those night sweats, and of course I eat a lot of butter and there's a correlation there, but I've noticed that it's regulated that for me. So because I wasn't cold, I can't answer that exactly, but I can tell you that it has just about completely eradicated my hot flashes and my night sweats and stuff that I have. Well, I'm perimenopausal, but still I've been getting them and it's helped me a lot. So I can't speak to the cold, but I wonder if it wouldn't, since it kind of regulated for me.
Okay. And for me, I don't get cold quite a bit, but I would say that this diet will I just emailed it out. So this diet should optimize your body's function, and it's all aspects of your body. I mean, Dr. Kiltz was talking about it. I have a interview with him today, and the way he talked about it is like, your body is a miracle machine, a miracle biochemical machine. And we're adding these drugs to try to like regulate one thing, and we don't even know when you pull a lever here what's happening over here. And because it's so complex and we're doing a lot of harm. I mean, you can just look at any of these. I see all these commercials, and almost every commercial I see is an autoimmune disease condition that's being helped with a drug. It's Rizveta or whatever, all these weird, crazy name drugs. And they're like, and they take a drug, but don't take it if you're allergic to it. And you might die if you take it, or you might get severe bleeding or something, or all these crazy things. I'm like, man,
failure and
but listen, check
sign
this out.
me up.
Every drug you see out there says this will decrease your ability to fight diseases, especially hepatitis. That's what they say on almost every one of them. Infectious diseases, and the reason is because most of those are autoimmune issues, and it's suppressing your autoimmune system.
Your immune system, yeah.
So we're going to suppress your immune system because it's attacking your body because your diet's bad. That's really, the other option is don't take that drug and eat meat. That's really the other option. All right. So let me know if that works, brother. You should have the email. Let me make sure it went out. Yep, it went out. Robert Scott. Okay, Robert. He should be joining us in a second. So in the meantime, let me real quick take a second to I get chills very short-lived though. Okay. I'm going to take a real quick second here to feature a YouTuber. And this is the Carnivore Lady. And you guys, she's got 1,490 subscribers, 167 videos. and she is a carnivore content creator. She and her husband are both carnivores. I recommend you go check her stuff out, like and subscribe, help promote her stuff. I've seen their videos. I saw them with JT on Chatting with Carnivores. That's where I saw them first. And anyway, cute couple. They've changed their lives, transformed their lives. So just like us, I mean, just like me, just like most of you guys, or some of you guys are here to do, right? So it looks like Spending Maple is trying to lose 30 pounds, get rid of brain fog. Okay. Beer. Yeah, beer's got to go away. Listen, alcohol, cut it out. All of our addictions are plant-based. Okay. All of them, 100%. There's not one that's not. Alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, sugar, opium, cocaine, everything's plant-based. Get these plants out of your life. You will lift that brain fog within 2 weeks if you do it strict. And within 4 weeks, you'll feel amazing. You won't believe how good you feel. And you'll probably lose 20 pounds or 15 pounds in the first 4 weeks. I lost 23. How much did you lose the first 4 weeks, Kat? Do you remember?
I lost the lion's share of my weight. I dropped, I think it was 20 some odd pounds very quickly.
Yeah. So, but you have to approach this seriously. And, this is a great tool, but if you give a great tool to someone who's not using it in a disciplined way, it can cause damage or it can not work, right? I mean, if you give a hammer to someone who doesn't know how to swing a hammer, they're not very useful, right? The person has to know how to swing a hammer properly. So this tool is a very effective tool, but you got to use it right. You have to be straight. My dog's looking at me like, hey, what do you want, Duke? Come. Sorry. My dog's like eyeballing me instead. He never does that. I don't know if he wants to go out or what. He'll come tell me if he wants to go out. He's a service dog. He's really smart. So too smart sometimes. All right. Well, we still don't have Cast Iron Carnivore. I think he might be setting up his account. I don't know. I think he's been on before. But so if you're going to approach the diet, and that's the other thing Dr. Chafee was talking about today on a video I was watching, and I still watch a lot of videos because, okay, so this is something else. If you're going to be a carnivore, continue to educate yourself. This is an educational process. All right, Rob, I have your audio, but I don't see picture yet. Are you getting your camera up? You can, there's a private chat channel on the right. You can chat if you want to chat with me. Let's see. So you need to keep finding YouTubers, listening to ones that you like. Oh, there we go. There's Rob. I'm going to bring you in now, Rob, and let you introduce yourself. Rob, my brother.
Well, let my camera just sort itself out. Good morning. Yes, 0133 from England. How are we all doing?
I'm styling.
Yeah, I was about to call it a night, and your notification popped up, and I thought, well, we're going to chat on the 9th, so let's just have a little quick hello.
That's great.
How you doing, guys? Yeah.
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always welcome. If you ever jump on and want to see, I'll just send you the link. I mean, it's not a problem. Why don't you just tell us about yourself real quick, Rob? Just so you know, Katarina's a veteran, Army veteran, and so am I. So I know you are too.
Okay, fantastic. I did 7 years with the 2-3 Pioneer out of Bicester in England. Served 2 tours, Iraq and Afghanistan, Telic and Herrick. PTSD, yes. I don't think any of us can go through that sort of thing and come back as we were. Right. When you stand on that, when you get on that herc or wherever you go over there with and get dropped into those places. So I did 7 years. I came out and went into like private security, close protection, that sort of thing. Which was interesting for a couple of years, because when I came out, I felt I was a little bit lost. I think all ex-soldiers do, ex-vets do. And it took me a good few years to sort of find myself. And what I do now, I teach bushcraft and archery to school groups and kids.
Nice.
for 7 to 8 months of the year. You know, some of these kids I teach who live in like areas like London, some of them have never even seen a butterfly.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, that's, you know, my little introduction.
Hey, so tell me about how long you've been carnivore though, and what the effect has been for you.
Well, going on over 3 months now.
Okay.
And the way I do it, I don't do scales. I don't do weight measuring. I go on how I feel, and how I'm feeling, and what I see in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, and
And
how
how about how your pants fit?
oh the fit, the description I'll put it as, I feel like I've been shrink wrapped.
Yeah.
Do you understand, Katrina? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The water weight from, obviously, when we eat all these carbs, the body's holding the water, and it was like, and it feels like I've been deflated.
Yeah, we were inflamed. We were like the Pillsbury
Yeah.
Doughboy.
Absolutely. The first 2 weeks, I was like, wow, what is happening? It was just, I just felt amazing, you know. Explosive diarrhea like I've never known.
Yes. Yes.
I confined myself to the house for 3 days.
Yep, I can relate.
Yeah, I did. I had diarrhea. I had it. I work from home though, so it's pretty good. I mean, so I was kind of lost when I got out too.
Larry was in the bathroom with his laptop.
Yeah, live streaming.
He's like making sure the mic is muted in his Teams meeting.
Oh dear. Yeah.
No, I went through. So I didn't start my channel till after. So I had gone. What happened was I started this in March, and I went till June, July, and I just had amazing results. Completely, you know, from 280 to 234, reverting back to my college self, right? And then I had told people about it around me. A girl I was going out with, and she went carnivore. She had amazing results. My neighbor, he's a veteran. He had amazing results psychologically and physiologically. My brother, my sister, my son, all these people started going carnivore, and they all had amazing results. And I thought, man, how could I get this out more? I said, well, I'll just do a YouTube channel. And I had a YouTube channel, but it was actually just for friends and family. It was for flying drones. I had like 7 videos on it over 2 years or something. It's like nothing. So I just repurposed that. And June 7th was my first video. So I was well past the diarrhea phase. And I felt better doing videos, actually knowing what I was talking about too. Because I've been carnivore long enough where I was like, okay, I've been through all the phases now. Now it's just easy. Right now, you're at the easy phase, Rob. You've hit 90. Once you get over 100, it's just like you're on autopilot. It's super easy. It's the new normal.
It's that what's happening to me now is I'm not needing as much sleep.
Oh yeah, that's me too. I get about 6 hours, 5.5. I'm good.
5.5.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 47. Before I was sleeping 10, 12 hours, waking up and just like.
And waking up was a chore, right? I mean, now I spring out of bed like Superman. It's like boom, and I start doing stuff.
Oh yeah, bang out 50 as soon as I get up. I'm obsessed.
I did sprints today. Yeah, it was great.
I'm not sprinting,
but I'm 57. I'm 57, and I did sprints. I do short sprints, but I did sprints.
No, I'm not. I'm just, weight resistance, body weight, which is the best, I believe.
Yeah.
And I've put a challenge out. Carnivore Leo has accepted it, actually, if you've seen our channel, for the month of December, 300,000 steps, which is not a lot. It's only like just under 5 miles, 10K steps a day. But to a lot, that some people, that could be a lot. So we'll start small, and in January it's going to be a hell of a lot more. But if a few people can get involved in that, I think it'd be great. You know, it's bringing this amazing community that we've found together. Yeah,
I was just talking about it before you got here. I think that it's a cadre, right? I mean, there is a brotherhood. It's because, especially among YouTube creators, especially that are content creating, I found that they are all willing to help you. They all want you to succeed. No one's competing against each other, right? It's amazing, and it's really good. It's the closest thing I can point out to is like being a chief warrant officer. Like I said, when I was a chief, all the other chiefs would help you if you had a problem. You say, hey, listen, I need something, chief, and they'd hook you up, because we had the back channel, because we've all been there. We've all been senior NCOs. We all went to warrant officer, we got selected, and we went up, right? So we have a cadre, and, we basically ran stuff. And and I think we have that here. I really feel it. I feel like, we have a group of people that are willing to help out and do whatever they can to help other people's channels. I had Dr. Chafee jump on my channel when I had like 1,000 subscribers, and I think I've got 5,000 subscribers tonight.
Wow.
Close. We're at, we just hit 5,000, guys. Just
brother,
hit 5K. Woo-hoo!
You're absolutely creaming me with my, but I've just rolled on to 107.
Oh, here we go. So we need to pump you up, man. We'll get you up. Yeah. So if you guys are watching this, go check out his channel, and then Cast Iron Carnivore, and like and subscribe and watch his videos. He's very entertaining, and I'm going to be interviewing him on my Mission Carnivore, which is a veterans suicide kind of awareness. Actually, I don't even call it awareness. It's really this is the first time I've had a tool that I can provide people. In the past, I don't know about you guys, Memorial Day would come up for us, and I would worry about people, and I would send out, or dates that certain things happened. I would send out messages on Facebook. Hey, if anyone needs to talk to anybody, send me a message or call me. I'll give my number, and hope they would call me. And that's all I had. I had no other way we had no way, right? And now this is something I can go and say, listen, if you're feeling down, try this. Here's some videos. Check this out. This is real. And I was like I was saying, a cat, this not only improved my mental health, it turned it around. It really did. What about you, Rob?
Well, if you're suffering from PTSD or anything like that, and you're eating all these foods, it's got all these bad chemicals in, you before you even eating these foods, your head's going to be down because of what you're struggling from. These foods that you're eating are just compounding it, if you will, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Getting the crap out clarifies the mind.
Yeah.
When you move the crisps, I think for me, the triggers are wheat, high carb foods, fructose, that sort of thing. If you're already suffering from PTSD and you're putting these things in your body, it's going to make you dip even more. Yep. And I've started to realize that, when I've come away from the stuff, because I got very low.
Oh, I did too. I've been there. I've been at the precipice, where I was actually considering, well, I wonder who's going to find my body and what's the next day going to be like for my family. I got to that point, and I was actually ready, and if it wasn't for my son, I was thinking of my son, thinking, that he would be crushed. That's what stopped me that night. So I've been there. And before I was there, though, let me tell you what, I had soldiers in my unit, not my platoon, but in my company, commit suicide. And I would never understand why. But when I got there myself, I realized this can happen to anybody. And it can, because you can get in a bad situation and have brain fog. Now I know why 100%. Is like, if you got brain fog, it's like a force multiplier, man. It's bad. It's
what's in the food is not helping.
Yeah. And low cholesterol causes people to have impulsive, violent actions. And I think that's why we have a lot of road rage too. We didn't have road rage when I was growing up. I never saw that. I mean, it wasn't like it is now. And people are like, well, they just didn't report it back then. No, I'm sorry. That would have hit the news if people were driving around shooting each other in the cars. I mean,
people are very angry.
So, hey, speaking of crisps, have you tried these bison liver crisps? I don't know if you can get them in the UK.
I haven't.
Nose to tail provisioning. They might just be American, but I'm telling you what, these.
Where can I get those?
They're liver. I have a link on my page. I don't know. See if you can get them from carnivoresoldier.com. I have a link. They give you a discount, but they are amazing. Okay, the last batch they had, the first batch I tasted, weren't awesome, but these ones are amazing. They fixed they're super thin, and you can dip them in. If you want to dip them, you can dip them in like sour cream, I guess. But I don't dip. But look how thin those are.
Oh, look at that! It looks like.
I mean, they're just like
looks like a waffle.
Listen, you hear them?
Crispy.
They snap. They're like chips.
Nice.
Crisps.
Yep.
Like
I will look at the link for those.
Yeah, bison liver crisps. Look at my website, carnivoresoldier.com. So anyway, we got a question here. Still confused over the salt discussion, kosher salt versus Redmond's. Redmond does have other minerals. I think kosher salt's probably fine. That's what I would say. I like the flavor of Redmond. Redmond salt is the best taste. And I thought it was BS when it started, but now that I've tried it, I'm a true blue Redmond person. Okay. It's superior salt.
I'm not sure. I don't I try not to use salt. What about you, Katerina? I don't use salt. I take the flavoring and the seasoning from the bacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Try not to use salt. And I haven't had a problem. If I'm cooking something that's like low fat, such as like a chicken breast, I'll just wrap it in the bacon and make sure the bacon's nice and fatty.
Yeah. I love cooking in bacon fat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see.
He ain't famous. What was that? Yummy crisps are insane prices here in Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, these are really good. If you get a chance, try them. I mean, I'm hooked on them. So amazing stuff. So what do you guys like to eat during the week? Since you're, especially you, Rob. I think I already know what Kat does. Let's start with you, Rob, and then go to Kat. Like, what do you eat on a typical day in a week?
Well, I was gonna put a shorts upload. Boiled eggs. I've started to come away from the frying. I'm preferring the boiled eggs now. I will boil up like 6 to 10 boiled eggs during the day, with some smoked bacon that I do under the grill, and then let it go cold, and I sort of grate it. So it's nice, and I actually put that on top of the eggs.
Nice.
On top of the eggs. That's quite nice. And about 2 to 3 Denver steaks a day, and lots of sparkling water.
What's a Denver steak? Is it?
It's just like a smaller, different cut. It's not a fatty cut, but it's just like a smaller shaped cut. Yeah, I'll do a little short on that. I'll
show us on your videos.
Yeah.
Do you put butter on your steaks or anything?
I do. I cook in butter, but I've started cooking goose fat now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like butter. I use butter a lot. I think because there's K12 in it, which is fantastic. It's very good for you. So it's good to eat butter, guys, for sure.
I think I went a bit too crazy with the butter. That would end up with the explosiveness of week 2.
Yeah. Your body will let you know. You can't eat too much
when you got too much fat.
Ooh, yeah.
How about you, Kat? What are you eating daily now?
Well, I've gone to basically only eating once a day. Not because I'm forcing myself to fast, but because that's what my body wants. On the rare occasion that I do get hungry early on, I will have eggs and bacon because I just love them all the time. But for me, if I can have a ribeye steak, I'm going to have a ribeye steak, but sometimes I can't afford a ribeye steak. And so you can pretty much guarantee that I'm eating ground meat and butter, or lamb. Those are like, I just constantly rotate them in and out. I finally was able to cook pork for the first time besides pork belly without completely drying it out and making it like a brick. So that was good. I don't care for chicken, so I don't really eat. It's too dry for me. So yeah, bacon, eggs, ground meat. Most likely, if you were to show up here tomorrow, that's probably what I'll have if I have 2 meals a day.
So DC Learning to Live's joining us. I don't know if you've met him yet. David Charles. He's tough. This dude beat stage 4 blood cancer twice and put everything into remission on diet alone. And he's a personal fitness trainer kind of guy. Excellent shape. And he's in his 40s, probably your age, 47. So you guys are about the same age, I think. I'm 57.
He's been shrink wrapped as well, has he?
Yeah, he's tough, man. So he'll be joining us. So my meal today, I ate 1.25 pounds of beef. I ate 3/4 pounds, three-quarter pound of beef for breakfast. At lunch, I ate 1/2 pound of beef with butter and salt. That's all I ate, ground beef. What you call mincemeat. And then I've had some butter slices, and then I had some of these. So that's all. Okay, so let's see. He should be coming in. Okay, came in and dropped out. Okay, but he'll come in a second. Let me get rid of this. All right.
Maybe he'll drop in.
Yeah, he'll drop in.
Yeah.
So so that's all I eat. And people are like telling me that oh, there he is. I see him. Okay. Here you go.
How's it going?
What's up? How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Good to see you. Now I mean, the sun won't set on this empire.
No.
We got Australia, we got UK, and we got America. We got the sunrise.
We're doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. What time is it there, DC?
It's now 10 to 12 at lunchtime.
Yeah, you're 12 hours. You're 12 hours in front, I think.
Yeah. Carnivore Rob's in UK.
Slow compared to Australia.
Yeah, Carnivore Rob is got a channel called Cast Iron Carnivore. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but check out his stuff, DC.
Yeah,
good stuff. He's a fellow veteran, and I'll be interviewing him on Mission Carnivore coming up soon. So
looking forward to
you
it.
guys
Nice to meet
check
you.
his video out. Say again.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, sir. Yeah, is that a computer background, or is that your backyard?
Yeah, I wish that was my background. Yeah,
Is that Mount Fuji?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hey. So DC, just give us a quick intro to you for people that don't know who you are, and just make it quick, but tell them about your cancer kind of a little bit, and just give us.
Okay.
I know it's hard to do, but if you can do a brief.
All right. Quick rundown. The reason I have Japan behind me is because I'm quite passionate about Japan. I just come back from Japan a couple of weeks ago. I lived in Japan for 10 years. Back in 2011, I survived the 9 magnitude earthquake and tsunami that hit us there. And then 9 months later was diagnosed with very high stage 4 follicular lymphoma cancer, blood cancer. Had a tumor the size of a football wrapped around my aorta, crushed both my kidneys, had only one kidney working, down to 12%. 2 years later was stage 4 blood cancer again. And I spent about 5.5 years in bed, about 3 years straight solid chemotherapy. And then it took me about 3 years to get walking again, get moving again. And about 5 years to get back into the gym.
Wow.
So now I'm back.
Yeah. And I've seen his workouts, man. He's sprinting staircases and deadlifting and stuff. Looking good, dude.
Fair play to you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
been a
That's
long
what I said. This
road.
guy's a warrior, man. He's a warrior for sure.
Mm.
It's been a long road, but as I say, everyone, it doesn't matter how big your steps are, as long as they're forward, you'll get there eventually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Never give up. So, we got another Aussie in here, Sandra McDonald, Western Australia, 951. So, that's cool. Hey, DC, what'd you eat today?
Today, I had bacon and eggs for breakfast. I don't always have breakfast, just depends on how hungry I am before I go to the gym. I only just got back from the gym. So, but I have about 300 grams of bacon and 6 eggs mixed with chicken broth. So it's kind of like a family reunion. I mix it up and make scrambled eggs. And
meet the family.
Yeah. And,
But you invited the pig.
No one gets left behind, get the whole family in there. So, and then today, lunch, I'll have, after lunch, I'll have chuck steak, about 1 kilo of chuck steak for the rest of the day. And that's
You guys ever heard that joke about difference between contributing and what is it? Contribution and commitment. So you look at eggs and bacon, the chicken contributed to breakfast, the pig committed.
Yeah.
But you made the chicken commit too, because you made the family reunion. So no one survived. That's it.
Well, no one gets left behind, you know.
That's right. That's right. So all right. Rob, what's your struggle been like with carnivore? Have you had any struggles at all since you've just gone 90 days now, right? So what did you struggle with, or what have you?
I think it's physically side of it. I went to do a Christmas tree harvest up in Cagunyan in Scotland. This is near Dumfries.
I saw the video.
Yeah, this was lumping £25, £30, £40, £50 Christmas trees around for 10 hours a day, in rain, snow, beautiful sun, rain, more rain, mud, everything you can imagine. And it's 3 days I was fine, but by day 4, wow, man. And that's when I had to adapt, because there just wasn't enough energy. Maybe it was too soon for me on the carnivore diet, but maybe I went into it blind. But I had to get a little bit of like a whey protein in just to pep it back up till I got back from the work I was doing. But I think that's the biggest struggle I've had. But it was a lesson.
It's easy to undereat in this diet because your hunger signals change so much, and if you're doing a lot of exertion, you need to up your caloric intake for sure.
Oh, I did, yeah.
A lot of when people start carnivore too, they think when they cut all the carbs out, they think they just got to eat the same portions of meat as well. Rather than increasing the portions of meat.
Yeah.
So they tend to undereat that way.
Yeah. The 3 to 4 days I was fine, and then it just hit me. It's like I hit a wall. So I was right. I upped the steaks, I upped the eggs, I dropped that little you can see in the upload the whey protein powder, which was low carb, but it helped.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. But it's a lesson. It's learning.
Yeah, and it's all N equals 1 too. Everyone's got a different starting point. Their body does. Their body's different. I mean, your body's not like mine exactly. There's different chemistry going on here, and these are biochemical engines. They're amazingly complex, and so we give a lot of generalizations when we talk about what's going to do this and what's going to do that, and for the most part, they do because you're a Homo sapien and your body's designed as a Homo sapien. But there's little tweaks. There's little differences. Some people can't do egg whites. Some people can't do dairy at all. Some can. I can't do coffee. Some people can. I get inflammation. I know. So I cut it out again because I started getting swelling in my ankle when I was running from an injury I got service related. And now I ran sprints today harder than I did last time. I got no swelling because coffee's been cut out. So there you go. I've got my answer, right? So that's why this elimination diet is so powerful, but you have to eliminate it. Right, Kat? I mean, that's what you had to do.
Yep.
So you got to do your elimination. And then when you get your elimination, you baseline. And once you have a baseline, then you can add onions or whatever you want to try, right? If you want to try something, I don't care why, but you may not want to either. Because my whole idea when I came in was I can do this for a while, get my body healthy, and then start adding foods I like back in. But now I don't like those foods. I don't want those foods. I have no desire at all.
I don't ever want to feel like I did again. So I don't.
That too. Yeah. But that's something I noticed. How about you, DC? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. Like we all have different starting points. So I was talking to Big Todd a little while back, and over at Carnivore Cure, like he uses supplements and different supplements, like amino acids and things like that. People are going to need, when they start this, that some people will need to, or still are on medications. They still have supplements that they take because they're on a different starting point to everyone else. What we all need, if we are all healthy from the start and we're on carnivore, and then basically we're going to need we'll eat the same diet. It's all going to be carnivore. But the way things are now, we've all had so much damage and in different ways from the standard sort of dietary guidelines that that recovery phase, that stage where you go from that standard diet to carnivore, you're still going to need to supplement and maybe take some medications and until you can sort of dwindle it down a bit until you get to that healthy stage where you can get rid of it all as well,
So DC, are you doing fitness training again? Are you doing that yet, or are you going to go back to that?
Okay. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. When I go back to Japan, I might do that. I might do some consulting sort of work, some of the gyms over there, or maybe some team coaching again. Like I used to be the strength coach for some basketball players in Japan. So I might go back to doing something like that, or I might actually just continue with some study, and I might get into rehabilitation more as well.
And I assume you're going to implement your dietary views in all of your
absolutely.
Work. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
So we were talking yesterday. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, that's a big change. Things I've learned over the last 9 years to what I used to teach and what I used to think. It's been a huge change, especially going on to carnivore. So yeah, I think it's very effective now as well. So I think it's certainly more effective. It used to be program people to eat, 4, 5, even 6 times a day.
Right.
Basically, you're sort of grazing like a cow. And I've always kept people away from soy and things like that, and I've always told them to eat whole foods, but it's always been try and keep like the standard guidelines are lean meats as well, and get carbs in as well. So that's just such a huge change really for my lifestyle, but also for what I believe and what I teach.
Yeah. So yesterday we were talking on Katarina's first live stream actually, and it was really great. And when we were talking, I brought up that I should go back to my old unit, and because I live close to my unit, and I retired in 2019, so I still know a lot of guys there. And actually, a bunch of the butter bar lieutenants are now like, company commanders and stuff. So or XOs. So I can go back, and I said I should go back and offer some training for these guys for diet, to get their PT scores up. Just say, hey, if you guys want better PT scores, come sit with the chief, because they all know I'm the chief. I was been the chief there for 6 years. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go hit the command and see if I can meet them and talk about, increasing their PT scores and their physical fitness readiness. I don't think any officer will have a problem with that. And I say, send me your problem guys, send me whoever is a problem. I'll go to the first sergeant and say, first sergeant, who's your problem? Send them my way. Now I can't make them, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them think. Right. So,
right.
But I'm going to try. I'm going to definitely do that. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. What's the worst they can do is say no.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And my son got inspired. He became a carnivore watching my results. So these guys will see my results. If they're critical thinking guys, or if they want to improve, they got to want. They have to have a why, right, Kat? I mean, that's your big thing. Got to have a why. If they don't have a why, there's nothing we can do. But listen, if someone had come in with this when I was in, I probably would have gone, because my last 2 years, I was not in the best physical shape. I was in the worst physical shape I've ever been in the military. And I was kind of ashamed of it and not feeling good. And it wasn't that I wasn't trying. It's my body was, all the injuries piled up and the age. I was 53. I was between 50 and 53 is my last couple of years. And I was not doing well. I was not excelling at anything physically anymore. And I'd always been fit, I'd always been a college athlete and then a military guy. But it all caught up. And with the seed oils and all the inflammation, there's just nothing I could do to keep it up anymore. And that's a bad feeling, because you feel like kind of a failure,
Oh, you do. It doesn't, and you try and it doesn't matter how much research you do and like how much you keep looking into your diet and things like that. You say, okay, all these foods are supposed to be health foods and things like that, but they're full of seed oils.
Oh yeah,
and you think,
I was doing what I thought was good. I was watching all those studies, and eat a cup of this and a teaspoon of that every day, and this will fix this. And so I started implementing it. I eat some blueberries, I eat some oatmeal, some steel cut oats, right? That's much better, right? I mean, all the garbage they try to sell you. Kat, now I don't know if you guys know this. Kat was actually a vegan, and she converted to carnivore. So she had like and now, Kat, were you a vegan when you were active duty? Wow. Yeah. How'd that work with MREs? I guess they have vegan MREs, don't they?
Yeah, they have vegan MREs.
Man.
Or
MREs
that would have been hard. That would have been hard.
I mean, how did you deal with that when you got to the mess hall?
I ate a salad.
Salad, yeah.
Okay.
With seed oil poured all over the top of it.
Right, yeah. I lived on salad and stuff. And, I mean, eventually I didn't have to, after you get a certain rank, you can move off the base and you don't have to go to the chow halls anymore. And you don't, because you don't want to. But,
you don't like the DPAC? Come on. You don't like the DPAC?
Nope. Although when I was in Central America, theirs was probably the best one I've ever been to. But no, I was vegetarian, turned vegan while I was in the service. And it wasn't actually as hard as you would imagine it would be, especially because all of the junk food, the vegan junk food that's out there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, an Oreo cookie is vegan.
Yeah, that's right.
But even if you didn't do something blatant like Oreo cookies, even if you just did like low-fat yogurt, a Yoplait, which you think is pretty good, or whatever these, I see these the bars, the health bars, the kind bars, total garbage, total crap. I mean, it's amazing what they've sold us.
Yeah, it's disgusting, really, isn't it? You see all these health food bars, protein bars and things like that. Get big, build muscle and all this sort of stuff, and you have a look at the ingredients of these protein powders, protein bars, and all these other supplements that they sell you. It's nothing but poison.
Anything with nearly 20-25 ingredients on the back is not good.
Yeah, that's right.
Certainly,
anything more than 2 or 3 and you're going off the track.
Yeah, I think so. You can anything with 2 or 3 ingredients you can throw in your basket without looking. But once they go over that, you better read, and you better know what you're looking at, because sugar has 56 different names.
Yeah, so many different names.
So, and they do that on purpose, right? They don't want to put sugar on this, so put malted dextro or whatever, or all this crap. All these different names, and it's like, go Google it. There's 56 different names.
Even
for
the
sugar.
stuff that says 0 sugar or sugar free isn't. It just means they didn't add any additional sugars to it. I can't tell you how many times I've picked up something in the store and it'll say sugar free or 0 sugar, and you look in it and it says cane sugar, but yet you said no sugar. Sometimes it just means that they didn't add any more or any additional.
Yeah, none added. Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think of? And I heard you talk about sweeteners before I came on. I mean, what do you think about stevia?
So,
hate it.
So any sweetener, artificial or natural, will cause an insulin spike, and the whole name of the game of this diet is minimizing your insulin spikes, right?
Yeah.
So stay away from that. Also, they cause cravings in a lot of people. For me, they cause cravings. I know. Okay. I will get
block your neuroreceptors.
Yeah.
They also block neuroreceptors, and they also actually they inhibit your fat loss as well. So
that's true. People who tell me, well, I'm doing carnivore, I'm not losing weight. Well, I ask them, are you doing sweeteners? Are you doing dairy? Are you doing coffee? If you're doing those 3, cut them out, and then come back to me in 4 weeks and tell me you're still not losing weight, because I guarantee you that's a huge deal.
It's one of the big things too, is giving up like some of this stuff. I mean, these like soda drinks that with the sugar-free soda drinks, they're just as addictive as normal soda drinks. Like so, like diet drinks, they call them like no sugar and whatnot. They're just as addictive and just as fattening and just as poisonous as the rest of them. they will stop you from losing weight, and they cause all sorts of other problems as well.
Yeah. So, and that's like, we go back to the baseline concept again. You're making a baseline, right? So you need to eliminate all this stuff for a while. You can do anything for 8 weeks. Trust me. You know, you get a battle rhythm, you're rolling. Once you get the new normal, it's okay. And once you do 8 weeks, you can do 12. Then that's super easy. Once you do 12, everything else is cakewalk. So shoot for 8 weeks of being really strict. And you know, if you mess up, fine, but don't plan cheat days. Cheat days are, you know, I never plan to fail. You know, I don't say, well, why'd you fail? Well, it was on the calendar. Oh, okay, that's why you failed. You know, don't put it on the calendar. Don't put a cheat day on the calendar. If you fail because you give in to an urge, because you're out with friends socially, you're at a baby shower, whatever, you eat some cake, okay, fine. Get back on that horse like no one saw you fall off and ride like you never fell. And that's what you do. But don't plan cheat days. This is not that kind of diet. If you want to do that, go do keto. That's all about, that's what they're all about. This is an elimination diet where you get the baseline. It's impossible to get a baseline if you keep cheating. You never get a baseline, and then you don't know. So
one way to think about it too is, I don't look at it as cheating. I look at it as a setback, because cheating is when you do something, you take a shorter route to get to the same destination, right?
Right, that's
so
true.
Like if you download the answers to a test, so you know what you're going in for before you get tested, sort of thing. That's a cheat, all right? But when you are eating poison, you're setting yourself back.
Yeah,
right? That's not cheating. Right? You're setting yourself back. So it depends on how you look at it. If you think of it as a cheat because it's a treat, you know, it's sweet. I've been good this week. Let's have a piece of cake. You know, so I cheated this day. Then it's not the right way to look at it. Think about it.
It's like, you know, I've been a really good husband.
I've done all this work this week.
Yeah.
I've made such great progress.
Yeah.
Why do I want to set myself back?
Yeah. Is it crazy? Like we're thinking and we're saying like all the food they've been giving us is just shite.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And thinking like the MREs.
That's a polite way to say it.
Yeah. Not only the food they're giving us is bad, and the food they're telling us is healthy is bad, but the food that is good for us are telling us is bad. They're flipped it around to upside down world. This is like, if you've ever watched comic books or, you know, this is Bizarro world. This is where anti-Superman is, and everything's upside down. And that's
it all makes sense, really. It all makes sense when you look at it. The fact is, most food industry is owned by pharma.
Yeah.
So pharma wants customers, so they slowly poison you, so that they can then give you the cure or the treatments. They don't want to cure you from anything because they want to keep you a lifelong, addict.
You're a subscriber. You're a subscriber.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no profit in a healthy Larry.
No. And I'm not on any meds at all. Zero meds. And that's the way I like it. I take an occasional allergy pill. I used to take an allergy pill every day. I probably have a lifetime of allergy pills in there because I have like a bottle of 400 I bought, I think, because that's how I used to take it every day. And now that's going to last me 15, 20 years because I take one a month, maybe once every couple months if something is in the air, but it's very rare. I go mow the lawn, I don't sneeze. I mean, it's crazy. And I can breathe through both my nostrils. Okay, this is something that all my military career, I could not breathe through both my nostrils properly. And my doctor would tell me, go in a hot shower, close one nostril, breathe in and out, do the other one, and it'll clear up. And never cleared up. I could never breathe through my left nostril. And now I breathe through both nostrils perfectly. It's because there was inflammation. It was swollen shut. That's what I think.
That's really interesting that you say that, because before I started the carnivore diet, I used to breathe really heavy.
Yeah.
I would just be sat there, and someone pointed out to me years ago, and I didn't realize. And I've clocked myself now. I don't. It's gone.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
That's another symptom of sleep apnea. You know, like a lot of people say when they go into carnivore, their sleep apnea is corrected. Same thing. Yeah, it's a breathing problem.
I was a big time mouth breather when my nose, I couldn't get enough air in. There's no way I could just close my lips and breathe out of my nose comfortably for any amount of time. So and when I went to sleep, I was breathing out of my mouth. Now I can breathe through my nose, and it's great. It really is. Hey, Carnivore Transformers on. Nice.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Graham.
Hey, Graham. How you doing? Hey, Diane. Bypass Carnivore.
All these
Sandra,
wonderful carnivores around the world.
Oh, Bypass is on here too. Nice. I didn't see her. Good. Yeah, it's hard to see everybody. Hey, how's it going, Bypass? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while on the show. All right. Grew up with Popeye cartoon where you down to can of spinach.
Katerina, there's had a very interesting talk just last night actually here with Dr. Zoe Harcum.
I saw that. She's great.
She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. She's amazing actually. She was in a bit of a rush, but we managed to get an hour in. She was 20 years vegetarian and vegan. Right before she went back to a normal, like a meat-based diet. So, I mean, she's not carnivore strict, but she's meat-based.
She's more like ketovore, right?
Yeah, like keto, low carb anyway. So
yeah, she knows cholesterol like no one else because she did her PhD in it, and
yeah, she did a PhD in fats.
Yeah, and one of the things she did. Is what she does now is she gets these studies that come out and she reads them, analyzes them, and writes up like a cliff notes, like a shorthand report of what the study is. This is what it means. This is what's good about it. This is what's bad about it. And she does it. She also challenges the authors before she publishes and says, hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Do you care to comment or correct or tell me why it's right? And if they can't, so if you go to her website, Zoe Harcum, she's got a website and all these studies are there. So if you ever see any studies that are interesting, you can go over to her website a lot of times and take a look at them. Like the one that said that eating red meat gives you diabetes, which is ridiculous, totally ridiculous. But when you see her,
they put it there to saturated fat, and like saturated fat, like a kilo of steak is like maybe 1 or 2% saturated fat. Like it's lower saturated fat than you get from like legumes and things like that. So it's impossible.
Can we all just admit at this point that the food pyramid is upside down?
Yeah, it is 100%. That's what she points that out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Zoe's stuff, you got to go look at it. She's got great videos. Great. She had an interview with Chafee. She had an interview with you, DC. Go check out DC's channel. Go ahead and subscribe to his stuff too. All of us actually, and thumbs up. Smash a thumbs up on this video now if you can. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to break that algorithm.
Yeah, I think you've got some questions in there, brother. Katerina.
Oh yeah.
I'll be talking to Chris Kenobi again soon too. He's a great guy too. He knows. They wrote Chris Kenobi and Susan Alexander. They wrote the book. Is it Ancestral Diet Revolution? I think it was called. But brilliant, about seed oils and all these so-called vegetable oils that have just invaded all of our food supply. And one of the worst ones being soy protein, which is in everything, even things like jerky, beef jerky and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's in all that. All right, Kat, you got a question. How long were you a vegan and what made you change?
Well, I started out a vegetarian for a couple years and then turned whole food plant-based vegan 13 years. What made me change is I was putting on a lot of weight. I was having a lot of health issues, unexplainable health issues. I think my doctors probably thought that I was cuckoo because I kept going in with unexplained pain, petechia all over my body, just a lot of issues I've had. I don't know how many scopes in my stomach and just everywhere. Just so many things were going wrong. I was getting heavier and getting heavier. I ended up almost paralyzed in the hospital for a week, just so the inflammation and stuff was so bad in my body that it started like in my back and I couldn't walk. I was on a walker in physical therapy for a long time. It didn't matter what I do. I ended up 230, almost 240 pounds from eating romaine, lettuce, spinach, all this stuff. And every time I had horrible IBS, GERD, massive migraines all the time. My female problems were unbelievable. My anxiety, I was having panic attacks this is TMI, but I'd be in the bathroom, going to the bathroom and have a panic attack in the bathroom when I actually had to call 911 one time as I'm falling off the stool on the floor in a panic attack. And I know I'm a veteran, PTSD, I understand that, but it was getting to the point that I couldn't even leave the house. And we all talked about suicide, and I was there. My doctors were telling me that it was in my head, that I had, all these, it was all up here, and that I was crazy, basically. And I was at the point that I didn't want to live anymore. I felt like such a liability to my family. I have two young teenage boys still with me. And one of them, my youngest, came out and saw me right after my mom passed. Just sitting on the couch. And I think, Larry, I had told you, that was it. I didn't want to get up the next day. The doctor told me my latest condition was insulin resistance. I was pre-diabetic. They tried to put me on Ozempic. I didn't want to do that.
Thank God you didn't do that.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I don't know. Out of my little boy came out, he saw me. I felt embarrassed a little bit that he had seen me crying and miserable like that. And he tried to comfort me. There's no 12-year-old little boy that should be trying to comfort their mother. I just happened to, he shouldn't be there trying to make me feel better. I Googled insulin resistance in one last ditch effort, ran across a Dr. Berry video, carnivore diet. And I joke about this now because in retrospect, it's hilarious. But I went that night, I went to Sam's Club, and I tell this story all the time. I just started throwing crap in the cart that I didn't even know what it was. It looked disgusting. It felt disgusting. It smelled disgusting. And I did that, and out of desperation. I mean, it was that or die.
You had the why. That's your why. That was
That's
your
my
why.
why. Yeah. It was, and when
one.
I say I wanted to die, I did. Like Larry said, I wasn't plotting ways to off myself, but I really just thought, you know what, tonight's the night. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm not going to get up in the morning. I'm going to stop being a burden to these little boys. And, you tell me how plants were killing me, but they were killing me.
Yeah, and we're messing your mind thought process up, because right now you can think of, there's no way that would unburden kids, right? And but at that point you're thinking that, and that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I felt the same way. So it's tough. That's the poison in of the seed oils. And speaking of Dr. Kenobi, the guy's fantastic. He's legend. He talks. Really, he did a talk. Down Under, Carnivore Down Under, I think it was. I forget, a little while back, but he did the graphs of the seed oils. But he talks about the 4 things that added to our diet, of the modern Western diet, right? And I call them the 4 horsemen of the diet, of the Western diet apocalypse. And it's sugar, right, which is the first one I think they added, and then it was seed oils, and then it was the refined grains, right, and then the last one was the trans fats. And those are the 4 horsemen that are made. That once you have all 4 of those, you have processed food. Now you have shelf-stable food that you can put in a box in the middle of a grocery store, and it'll sit there for months and years and not go bad. And that's when they started making all that money and addict people, right? Get that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just about, making profits though either. There's a much more sinister sort of ideology around it. Things that they go out of their way to add things to, like soybean oil to beef jerky and things like that. Like they really go out of their way to add these things. I posted a picture yesterday. Actually, I took a photo of, even like the smallest things you would not think would be like wasabi. Most wasabi you get in the tube sort of thing that people buy. It's not even wasabi. It's horseradish base, which is by itself is fine, but it's it's full of dextrose, it's full of canola oil and all these other ingredients and colorings and flavorings and stuff like that. So just absolutely everything.
You know what's really scary, DC? You posted the baby formula recipe.
Yeah,
that is disgusting.
Yeah.
It is. Now that I know what that stuff is, I thought, listen, if I would have seen that 5 years ago, I'd say, oh, that's healthy. I would really think that was healthy. And now that I know what it is, after I seen Dr. Kenobi's speech, and it is evil, man. It is, and that's what Dr. Kilt and I talked about on today's video, or yesterday. I interviewed him, published it today. I interviewed with Dr. Kilt.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Yeah, and he said that's it's to addict babies. That's why they do it. They want to addict the babies.
Yeah. Well, they start the addiction while you're in the womb. Like with your pregnant mother. The addiction starts there. They want you addicted to sugar and these oils before you're even born.
It's
so
crazy.
Like from day one, like we are just completely underdeveloped as a species, and in many different ways. We have different reactions, but as a species, we are very underdeveloped. If we were on a proper human diet from conception to adulthood, the difference would be absolutely incredible. We'd all be 7-8 foot, built like a bloody tower.
But like tanks, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the American Indians in the plains, the ones that lived off buffalo exclusively, they were like 7 foot tall, like 6'8", 6'9". They were giants.
They were the tallest and biggest people in the world at that time before they changed their diet to a Western style.
These weren't little short, runty Indians. They were big men. And
they were
the ones that lived
big
in the plains that we had 130 million buffalo roaming wild in the United States when we came over. And, that's how we get our topsoil, right? And, so to say that cows are causing global warming cracks me up. It's like, man, back in the cowboy days, we had all that. I mean, I don't get it.
You think about everything that is absolutely vital for life is demonized for a reason. CO2 is vital for life. Okay, ruminant animals are vital for the environment because they create the topsoil. We need them to process that grass, fertilize it, and put it into the ground so it becomes topsoil. We need and meat. Meat is absolutely vital. We need amino acids. These are the absolute building blocks of our body. The fats, we are built to, we have 5 different organs to absorb fat. In our lymphatic system, all our hormones, everything rely on the vitamins, minerals, and proteins that we get from these animal products to stay healthy, recover, and rebuild. Everything. And CO2 as well. Without CO2, we could not breathe. Okay, we couldn't. If you took away the CO2 in the room, you would die instantly.
And none of their plants, their precious plants they want to eat, would live either.
Yeah,
because they need CO2,
exactly.
right?
And nothing would live. Nothing would live. The carbon they want to reduce is us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everything vital to life, for human life, okay, and for life on this planet is demonized.
Well, here's the deal. This is our Copernicus Galileo moment. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're telling the powers that be and the people that the universe doesn't revolve around the Earth, right? And that's what they're going to have to accept because it's fact, it's science. And eventually, those guys were proved out in court and over until it became accepted. But every government agency was against them. Every religious institution was against them. Every scientific institution was against them. And they won because they had the truth on their side. And we will. And this is a grassroots movement. We're going to have to do it from the ground up like this. We're going to have to grunt it out, man. And that's why I love having these warriors here, because these guys know what it is not to quit. And that's, one thing I'm not is a quitter. I'll tell you that. You can knock me down. And I like to talk about resilience on my channel. And resilience is not something you can read about. It's not something you can say, oh, I'm going to read a book about being resilient and I'm going to be resilient. No, resilience is getting knocked down and popping back up and going at it again and getting knocked down and popping back up. And it's how fast you get back up and your attitude and how you get back up. And that's why I talk about falling off that horse and jumping back on and riding like no one saw you fall off. That's resilience. That's how you build it. You can't build it until you run into adversity. And we're running into adversity together, and we just need to build leaders and go. And we've got some generals in the battlefield. We got Dr. Baker, we got Dr. Kiltz, we got all these, we got Zoe out there. We got some great generals out there. We got to be some of the platoon leaders, foot soldiers to go do this thing. So that's what we're doing. So this is a rally call. And then all you guys in there watching, if you're not going to start a YouTube channel, you'd get into the fight too by supporting YouTube creators. Because
the biggest way we can all fight back, one of the biggest way we can all fight back, everyone, if you don't want to do a YouTube channel or anything else, don't buy their poison.
Don't buy their poison for sure.
You fight back in the supermarket. Stop buying their crap
and spread the word.
Yeah, we are literally funding our own poison. That's what we are doing right now. All right. So if we can stop that, we can send these people broke.
Yep, it's going to take a while though. It's not going to happen fast because they got the UN on their side. They got World Health Organization on YouTube, kind of cutting things back on our. You can see it. We have an uphill battle, but that's okay. I never signed up for an easy fight, man. I'm good. I can go.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, listen, we've been on an hour and 25 minutes. Why don't we just all go around real quick and talk about what we got going on this week, if we have anything going on this week with our channel, and then we'll say good night. Sound good?
Okay.
Kat, why don't you start? What do you got going on this week? Anything else? I know you've done 2 nights here. What else you got going on?
I have another live with Carnivore Backwards Carnivore. I don't know if I ever say his name.
I always say it's backwards too. I probably could get backwards.
I feel like it should be Backwards Carnivore, but I think it's Carnivore Backwards. Yeah. I have a live with him this weekend. I have a few videos that I'm working on. I'm still not 100% from being sick. And so sometimes I don't have all the energy in the world, but I do have a few things that I need to get out there. And that's really it. Just not a whole lot this week.
You see Duke back there. That's my service dog.
That tail takes stuff off a counter, doesn't it?
Oh, boy, Duke. Yeah, he could, but he doesn't. I can put steaks on the counter and go to the store and come back, and they'll be there. He's trained. He's a service dog. Wow. So, all right, Rob, how about you? What do you got going on your channel?
Well, I've got the 300,000 steps for December, from the 1st till the 31st of December. If people want to get involved, I'm going to try and get 30,000 out tomorrow. I'm going to be up quite early. If people want to get involved in that, just go over to my channel and put comments in the box. If you've got a Fitbit or a Garmin or an Apple Watch or whatever you've got, that'd be quite cool. And I'm just looking at different types of meal prep, different ways to do it. I'll do little shorts on my channel.
Show us your Denver cuts.
Yes, my Denver cut's a different type of cut. Maybe it's just something we have over here. But what I would like people to do, if they're not, like DC said, if they're not going to do a YouTube channel and they're going to watch, I would like them to sub and watch that and wonder why that guy's eating that. What's he doing that for? Ask questions.
Yeah.
What's he going to get from that? That's my thinking for this week.
All right. DC, what about you, man? What's going on?
Not a lot. Actually, I just put up a video this morning, my latest blood results. Because I'm having them checked every 3 months.
That. How'd that come out? Was it good?
Yeah, everything is good, nice and stable. Slowly creeping up still. It's only been a couple of months since my last one, so not a lot of progress, but it has progressed a little bit. And the best thing is it's just stable. So, Carnivore has been wonderful actually. Apart from that, just maybe a couple of short videos and nothing big coming up really. I might do a live with someone this weekend if anyone wants to jump on, but that's about it.
Cool. Well, that's trending upwards is awesome for blood work since
Yeah.
you've had stage 4 blood cancer twice. I mean,
Yeah.
and now you're med free, right? You're not on any meds. You're just doing food, right?
Yeah. 0 meds.
That's amazing,
and
brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
like,
do you take a glutamine inhibitor or anything
No.
like that? No. Okay. Because I know
No.
glucose and glutamine are the only two fuels cancer can live on, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, all I eat is meat. Basically, 70% of my diet is fat.
nice.
So it's, the rest is protein. So like, lots of eggs and fatty meat and butter. Basically, that's about it. So I don't really need a glutamine inhibitor or anything like that. Depend. Some people can make a mistake of eating too much protein, and too much protein will do the same damage as too much carbs, sort of
Because
thing.
then they generate their own glutamine, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And when you say 70% fat, you're talking about by calorie, not by grams.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Although I don't really follow calories so much because the unit of energy. We're not internal combustion engines, but
you gotta say it's not grams of fat. The 70%.
Yeah.
It's the the nutritional content. How about that? We'll call it that.
Yeah, the nutritional content. About 70% of that nutritional content is fat. So that's where I get most of it from.
Cool.
So
all right, guys. Well, I'm going to drop you guys out. I'm going to sign off. If you stick around just a minute, we'll say goodnight to you. Unless you need to go. I know, Rob, it's late there, so you can.
I'm cool. I'm good. I'm very happy to be here. I'm cool.
All right, we'll have a little after party real quick, so hold on. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me on this channel. It was a great Hump Day meetup. Had some surprise guests. Had some great discussion. Lots of knowledge shared. Meet back again next Wednesday, and keep an eye out for my new videos as they come out. Like and subscribe, all of us, all 4 of us that were on here, and find new YouTubers and follow them too. And good luck and keep at it. All I got to say is stay strong and overcome. Carnivore Soldier out.